All right, all right, all right. So I don't know if you can hear me. Hopefully, I don't do this live without any sound, and that will be terrible. So I am starting to get back on YouTube, so I don't have anyone in this live, but that's fine. I'm going to teach this class as if I do. So a lot of people have been asking me, well, people that I know in my life have been asking me, can I go ahead and share Canva tricks? And that's what I'm going to do. Going to share some Canva tricks, and I'll share some, like if you watch this video and you see um, something that you'll like to try, then I'm going to do some things on Canva. And I think I'm just going to go crazy. I'm going to start off with a magazine template today. So I'm going to go inside Canva. And the cool thing with Canva is if you're subscribed, you have access to a lot of things. The subscription is about $14 a month, not too hard. I guess it's like the cost of a lunch or maybe coffee for the day and a Danish from Starbucks. So, and I'm sorry for yawning. I'm so tired. Anyway, I'm not going to use a cover. I'm just going to create stuff from scratch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and grab any of these texts and put in a header. And when I'm creating a magazine cover, I don't want to use text that's not like super exciting. And I taught a class, like a live class on my other channel, but that's for my students. And person came up, like was doing like a beauty um, magazine, but it's focused on lashes and eye makeup. So they had a name for that, but let me come up with something. Let me see. Mm. Maybe we're going to use ChatGPT. So let me go to ChatGPT and let me type in uh, names for beauty magazines for makeup and lashes. Oh, there's some cool ones. So, Glamour Glow. Okay, let's use that. So let me go back to all right. So I'm going to go with Glamour Glow, but I think I want to play around with this a little bit. So I don't want it to be all one word. So I'm going to copy this. So I just did a Control C, Control V. I copy this. And then I'm going to use glow, glamour, glow. And what I want to do is play with the words. So I think I want to use something a little stylistic or like handwriting. So I'm going to go to handwriting and see what options they have. So let me go ahead and use this Brittany. I do want to have something that's legible so that when people see the magazine cover that they kind of can read it. If it's too stylistic, then it's hard for people to know what's going on. That one kind of looks cool, but I'm going to continue looking. And I don't like how these G's are coming up. I kind of don't like font like this for a magazine. I don't know why. When I look at it, it's that's doing too much. Let me just continue to look. Maybe glow would be out of the stylistic words. And then I'm just going to use something that's like more cleaner for glamour. So let me just go out of handwriting. And sorry for all the scratching. Let me actually get a piece of paper and put my mouse on that because I think that's going to sound a little bit more better. Let's see here. Roboto. Let me do all uppercase. Yeah, I like that. Glamour. So glamour like that. And then I'm going to do glow, which let me go to handwriting and see what it looks like. But let me do a lowercase g because maybe that will give me like a better look. And let me continue to look through the options. So let's see. There's some font that I actually upload it in here. You can upload font, like you can go to thefont.com and download fonts and add it here, but you do have to have a subscription too. So let me just use this, the Crown Heights. And that one is a demo regular. So if you do want to use like a font that's a demo, you do have to like reach out to that font person who developed it, and you need to pay for the license so that you can use it. Let's see. Let me see what else. Glamour Glow. Maybe I like that. I don't know why it's not like screaming at me. Or maybe I'll just do it as one whole word and call it a day. Okay, so now that we have our text here, I'm going to go ahead and play around with a few things. So I'm just going to make this black, change the letters to white, so I can kind of get some inspiration here. Okay, so Glamour Glow. Let's go ahead and find a model. So I'm going to go into photos. And because I have a subscription, I can look for models. So I'm going to go to model headshot. Oh, I kind of like this one. It's kind of funky and fun. And it's black. But I wish I didn't have her head cut off. Maybe I'll do this. Glamour Glow. And then let me do an effect so that it shows up since it's kind of black. So Glamour Glow. It's kind of looking a little simple. But let me go ahead and just change the color of that font there to another color. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to now go ahead and go to my elements. And let me go to magazine barcode because I just searched that, so it should still be in there. Because I want to do something stylistic. Let me use this barcode, and it gave me a barcode, but I'm going to change the color to white. Let me go ahead and place that right here. And then I'm going to start putting in other words like issue, header, subhead, masthead, and all that stuff. So let me just go ahead and scooch this over here. I'm going to turn this white. Make this bigger. Oops. My Grammarly popped up. So let me go ahead and because this is so small, let me zoom in so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to do March 2024. Actually, it's not new type anything. March 2024 issue. And those fonts are a little bigger, and I don't really love them too much. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to change this font to one of my favorite fonts. Yeah, like that. But I don't think I want it to be bold, so I'm just going to do regular. Or maybe I should do light. Okay, I think that's looking kind of good. Yep, that's coming together. So now I'm going to put in like like some titles that are going to take place in that issue. I'm just going to put a few like um, things that will be available in that issue. So let's say I'm just going to put just going to say mock title. I don't have my titles yet. My title 1. Then I like to use mock text, and I will put the link to the mock text website that I always use. And it helps me with this placement of character so I can see how it's going to look. So what I'm doing is just going ahead and placing that mock text there. I'm going to change this text here to construct, I think. And I'm going to do semi-bold. And so what I want to do is line up everything. So I'm just going to go ahead and take this out. And you see how it creates that that pink line. I'm lining it up. I bring this down. We see that we have our magazine kind of coming together, a magazine cover. Okay. Super simple. If I wanted to, I could, let's say that I decide to do another type of barcode because I'm like, maybe I want a little thicker barcode. So I could play around and see what they have in other designs, and I'm just going to go with that one. I mean, I could have turned the other one, but I didn't feel like going through all that. So just going to have this one there. And then I have like the opportunity, and I'm just going to keep it within that pink rectangle that popped up so that everything kind of sits within the bleed. And now I have 3 articles. But I do want to lock this because this is going to keep moving. I clicked on the picture and you can lock it. So I'm going to go ahead and lock this. And then what I'm going to do here is select all of these, move them down just a bit because I want this one to be bigger so that it's our like key article that, people are going to take a look at. And then I'm going to bring this down. And here we go with our first magazine cover. Now, let's make another one. Let's do a men's magazine. And I'm going to use the same name that I just used in my class. I call it Men's Lookbook. So you can also use some of these presets in Canva, which I like to use. Like they might give me inspiration. So sometimes I go ahead and use those. I think I'm going to use this one for some type of like let's say if we're covering someone that's on the cover and we want to do like a quote. So I'm going to use that for a quote. And let me just go ahead and scooch this up so that that's there. And that will be my quote. I don't want to build these all over again, so I'm going to actually reuse these. And I'm going to bring them over in here so I can use them again. I use the same placement. It's fine. But I have my quote in here, and now I'm going to, let me go find a male model. So let me go to model, and let me say male model. This looks like a good one for a magazine cover. So I'm going to just blow him up. And sorry, I kind of get a little closer to the screen because I wear glasses now and I can't see anything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a trick on how to like do like an overlay a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy him, Control V. And I have 2 of them like underneath each other. What I'm going to do is lock this one right here. I'm going to go lock. And I'm going to take this bad boy right here, place this on top. And I'm going to show you what I'm doing. So let me just go ahead and go to text again. I'm going to get like a header, and I'm going to call this the lookbook. This is the male magazine, like the lookbook. And I'm going to, I think maybe lookbook is spelled wrong, but we'll keep it like that. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to pick, oh, that's a good font. That looks cool. It kind of looks like the New Yorker font. So I'm going to, I don't want to have this way up because I think I'm going to have to do something because he's way too high. So let me unlock this for a bit and let me bring this down just a little bit. So I'm actually going to remove the background. And then I'm going to move him up so that he's a little bit behind here. And then I'm going to lock him up. Okay. Now I'm going to remove this background. So let me show you what I'm doing. What I'm doing is when you see different magazines and you see like the words are a little bit peeking behind the subject's head. So that's kind of like what I'm doing right now. So I'm going to remove this background. I'm going to go here, remove the background. And the only way I'm doing this is because I'm subscribed to Canva. So I pay that little extra month. So you see how now I layered him and he's still behind there. So I'm going to go to position and I can go to layers and I see that my lookbook is sitting above him. So I could just bring it behind and I have that to speaking behind his head. Okay. I could have done that if I could have done it just with him back there, but you know, because I took the background out, but actually I can get rid of him. Because I do that sometimes if I like the background of the subject, but I loved it, but I couldn't keep it. So what I'm going to do is I have him like this. I'm going to just kind of scooch this in a little bit so that I can kind of see what I'm doing. And I'm going to go grab another background from Canva. And because I'm subscribed, I can have access to different backgrounds. So let me do photo background. Let's see what we get. Okay, so this is good. This is a photo background. So I'm going to go ahead and grab this and place this here. I'm going to position this all the way to the back. And then I want to take the opacity down a bit so it's kind of darkened up here. And then I'm going to take him. Actually, let me put this back. Make the opacity just a little bit down so that I have some dimensions of that background. I'm going to lock it. And then I'm going to take him. I'm going to place him like this. Okay. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take him. I'm going to go back to position because I want to take these two and bring them all the way down so that my words and everything are right on top of, what he's saying. So we have an issue here. So you see how his arm is chopped off? I don't like when pictures like are just chopped in a weird way. So I'm kind of like, I want it to be flushed so that it's not awkward and it has like a weird chop. So I'm going to take my mock title and place one here. Take this other mock title, place this here. Actually, let me copy all these and just place them a little bit. I think right here is good. And then I have this quote from him. And I'm going to place this here. And I'll just put some mock text there. Let me copy some mock text real quick. And the mock text is just there for placement. I can kind of like know like how I'm going to place everything and, does it make sense? Okay. And then let me just ungroup this so that I could take this and I'm going to call him Daniel Jake. I need two first names. And then what I'm going to do is take this and then make this bigger. And then we're going to basically talk about Daniel Jake. The Daniel Jake style. Okay. Just making stuff up as I go. Okay, so I'm going to move this a little bit more here. And I'm going to go here for my spacing because I think that's way too much space. I'm going to adjust my line space there by going to the space section in Canva. And because Daniel Jake, he has a lot going on here as far as like the colors, they're competing with this white. So what I want to do is go to my effects and go to lift and add some dimension behind those letters. So the lift is going to create that nice shadow so that it's still legible. And then I'm just going to bring this down again, just a little bit. And then we have our magazine cover, the lookbook. There's a few other things that I want to add. I'm going to copy this and I'm going to add in the issue. Let's say issue 24, and then I'll go March 2024. The places here. Other thing I want to go ahead and place in here is my barcode. So I'm going to go back to elements. And of course, you're going to use your real barcode in real life, but for placement and stuff for this magazine, I don't know why I'm drawn to this barcode. I like it. I'm going to use it again. So I'm going to change this to white. And then I'm going to scooch this down and go like this. So now I have a magazine cover. So if you did a photo shoot and you want to do a magazine cover and bring this up in here, I love Canva. I mean, I do use Photoshop to take out backgrounds if Canva kind of does something wonky. Like I did a photo shoot one time and I took the pictures of people on green screen. I took the backgrounds out in Canva and then I did some more things in Photoshop. But sometimes, depending on what the person is wearing, Canva might, because the AI really cleans up the image. I'll go back and forth through Photoshop and Canva. So it's really excellent. It's fun. I love using this tool. So I just made a magazine cover, like two of them. This is Glam Glow, and this is the lookbook. So now let's go ahead and create table of contents for both. So I'm just going to make some blank pages. So how did I get here? This little object right here that says grid view, that's how I'm able to kind of see like what I worked on. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on here so I can utilize this page. And the cool thing with Canva is if I wanted to copy things, I could just go to that page before, copy, and then I'm just going to click onto this next page and press paste. And then it places it exactly where it was before. So I'm going to do that. But what I'm going to do is invert the colors. I'm going to change this to white. I'm going to change this because I knew that placement. I kind of knew where to click. And then I'm going to change this glamour to black. And because it has all that shadow, because the shadow was nice for the other thing, I'm going to take that shadow away because it's not really needed over here. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my table of contents. So I'm just going to use the same, let me use this title here. Bring this over here. I'm going to copy, I copied it, but since it's still selected, I'm going to go ahead and click on this black. And then I'm just going to put table of contents. Okay. And then put that right underneath here, use those guiding lines. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start, making mock stuff. So I'm just going to take this, bring this down a bit. And then I'm going to use this. So I have to do that again. I'm going to bring this down. And then it's already selected. So I'm going to go to the colors. That sees that A with the color thing under it. I'm going to press that. And then I'm just going to change the alignment. Table of contents. And then I'll put the article name. And then I'm just going to go like this. And let me zoom in a bit because I'm not wearing glasses and I could barely see. That's why I'm kind of like tilted to the thing. And I can't wear glasses for a while because I had a surgical procedure that I can't wear glasses because I'm going to have a problem. I'm just going to scooch this right here, table of contents, and then article name. And then a little bit of synopsis about the article. And then I'm just going to scooch this down underneath here and put page. And I'm going to put X. Okay. So now I have, let me just make sure that this is aligned that way because it keeps trying to go to the left. Okay. So now that I have that, I'm just going to copy this and bring them down several times so I don't have to do this all over again. I just copy and paste. I'm going to select all these together. Control C, Control V, keep them selected, bring them down. And then I kind of have my magazine kind of set up. It doesn't have to be a lot of, a lot of articles. And then I'm just going to kind of zigzag it a bit. So I have my articles there. And because I did all this amazing work, I don't want to do this work again for the lookbook. So I'm just going to go ahead and duplicate this. I made this extra page, so I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to move this over here. Going to go into the lookbook. And like I said before, I'm going to copy and paste, copy. And then I'm going to go ahead and delete this and place this here. And because they're both selected, I can just go ahead and press the color and it will change the colors for both of those things. And so I have a table of contents for the lookbook and I have a table of contents for Glamour Glow. So I am going to now, like, this is the start of my magazine. And now let's move on to creating an article. And for the articles, sometimes I just like to use templates. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a page. I went to grid view and add a page for both. And let's go ahead and use a template because they have a really great template. So how do I get back to the templates? I'm going to go ahead and click on design. And then I'm going to go ahead and find an article. This is a cool article. So I can use that. And then I could just work this. I can, change things up if I want to keep this the way it is and then change up the content. But of course, try to change it up as much as you can so that if you have a magazine, you do have some uniqueness with it. So let's go ahead and try to change some stuff up. So let's see, what was the font that we use for this? We use Roboto. So I'm going to go ahead and change this font and let's use Roberto. So I'm just going to go ahead and go back to, it says, sometimes it provides me with this is the recent fonts that I use. And then what I'm going to do is change the spacing of the words. And then let me change this font here so that it's different. Yep, that's cool. And then I'm going to change all this font here. And let's change this over to this so that it's a little bit more aligned. I'm going to switch out the templates a little bit. I'm going to flip this up over like this. The lash. Let's name this article The Lash Revolution because it's the first, magazine is a beauty magazine. So let's make this article about lashes. So let's do The Lash Revolution. Let me go here and find some pictures. Let me do lashes. Let me actually, I think I want to do something a little different with this. Let me take all this out. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to increase the font size a little bit because I think this is way too small, even though it's a magazine. But if we're doing this, you can do this as an online magazine if you want to. Let me take out these other elements. It's 9, so let me do it at 9. Let me take out all this extra stuff. So let me do the lash kit. And because I'm working with a brand called Winx, I'm actually going to feature their products. So let me go. I already have some pictures loaded in here. So let me just add the owner. And then let me add a few pictures from the product line. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask ChatGPT to help me write an article. I'm going to take her logo. I'm going to bring it in here. I'm going to place it right here. Oops. Let me lock this because for some reason Canva is so dynamic, but sometimes I don't want it to do certain things. So let me actually try to see if I can find and get it to have an effect of a shadow. So I want that shadow there. I think that's cool. Let's do the distance, change the distance of the shadow. Oh, that's not good. Go back to shadows and fix all that. So the angle, distance. Let's see what that looks like. It's okay. I don't love it. But it does give it a little bit of dimension. So I'm just going to add this right here. I think that's better. Okay. Then I'm going to name my magazine is Glamour Glows. I'm just going to copy this name and place this here. You know what? Maybe I need to add magazine in there, but I'll just keep it at Glamour Glow and I'll put magazine here. And this is under business section. Okay, so the lash kit revolution. Okay, I think I'm going to leave that header alone. We could do more with it. I'm just not loving the revolution too much. Probably want to change a font so that it's a lot more. That kind of looks like mascara. I kind of like that. Maybe I need to make this smaller and make revolution across the board. Take this kit. I think I'm gonna like this better. Yeah, this is much better. The lash kit revolution. Okay. So now I'm going to have ChatGPT write an article for me. And I'm going to put a few of their products in here. I'm going to take this product here and let me edit and do a background remover so that the products are just kind of sitting on the page. I'm going to place this here. And then I'm going to take this and edit and take off the background for that. And let me zoom out a bit so you can see what this is looking like. And then I'm going to turn this like this. I'm going to place this right here. Kind of playing around with the products. So we have our layout for this article, and it has some of the products in there. I'm trying to see if I could find more products, but I think that's it. Actually, let me do this. I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this so that they're separated. Remove the background so that I could play a little bit more with. I like to do this tilt on certain things. So let me just bring this down here. And let me actually tilt this. And then we remove the background for that. Okay, so that is an article for that and I used a template and I modified it quite a bit, but still use quite a bit of the elements that were there, but changed it up. And so we could do the same for a lookbook, and you could just continue doing like fun stuff. Um, because this is my first video in a while, and I'm just going to do these until, people join my live. You can watch this later. In the comments, just ask questions and ask me if you want me to do a live like class on like how to use Canva to do something else. And that's me right there. I just had a rhinoplasty. But yeah, so I enjoy using Canva. I use it all the time. I promote it because it's a really cool tool and you could do so much stuff in it. And I hope that this tutorial was helpful. And this is, how to build a magazine using Canva and have it look super professional looking. I do this stuff pretty quickly, but it might take you some time where you're really thinking about it. So give yourself grace. You're not going to be able to, like, you might, if you do have design background, you then it might come a little bit easier for you. But those of you who are just starting out and trying to really like get your eye to develop something that's like aesthetically pleasing, give yourself grace. It took me many years to kind of like work with different aesthetics, but I enjoy doing this. I will go ahead and put the view link to this file. I'm going to put that link inside Canva so that you can view it, and I place it in the chat. And if you have any questions for me, let me know. So let me just put that in the chat right now. View link for this. Okay. And I put the view link in the chat. So check it out and come back for more. I'm going to continue doing videos and looking forward to seeing, the kind of things that people are looking for me to develop. All right. And I'm going to call this Sample Magazine. Okay. Thanks for watching.